Hilchis Havdoloh. Huh? You should do tonight, Havdoloh.
We did it last night.
You did already? What was the mail? Were you able to do last night or no? Tuesday? When is so? The last night was good? I didn't know the cheshbon of the mail. Okay, Shin Tetzvav, Rabbi Yisai. Very good, very good.
Zayin?
Yeah, Zayin. Siv Zayin. We spoke last week that unlike Kiddush, where there's an inyan that everyone should taste from the Kiddush, it's a mitzvah and a mufcher to taste from the Kiddush, although you're still yoitza if you didn't taste. If you did not taste from the Kiddush, you're still yoitza. Just a mitzvah and a mufcher to taste from the Kodesh Bracha. Havdollah is not the case. Havdollah, there's no inyan in drinking from the Havdollah. So only the person who made the Mavdil should drink, but everyone else does not need to drink. Not only that, it says in Svarim that a lady should not drink from Havdollah. Kabbalah, a lady shouldn't drink from Havdollah candle.
She would have beer.
And it was a famous, they used to say to the ladies, to scare them off, they would say, if you drink from the Havdollah, you're going to grow a beard. So obviously all the ladies don't want to drink from the Havdollah.
Even if he makes the Havdollah?
If she makes it, so she has to drink. She has no choice. Mitzvah, so she won't harm her, she won't grow the beard. Siv Zayin, Ein Mavdilan al Pas. One is not allowed to make Havdollah on bread. Afilu Ein Lo Yayin. Yeah, the oil is with us. Peshin Tazvav Siv Zayin. V'lo Yishar Mashkim. Even if one does not have wine or other drinks to make Havdollah on, you don't make on bread. By Kiddush, it's not the halacha. Ve'ein edoyim lekiddush shemekatshel al lapas. Shekiddush ve'she'inyan lapas in Kiddush makam suda. Havdollah ein le'in klal lapas. The reason why we are matir, the diavad, if you do not have wine, or you're unable to drink wine, and you have no other chamara medina, no other drink that's right to make Kiddush on, to use bread, is because Kiddush has an association with Pas. Because you're not allowed to make Kiddush without a meal. The Kiddush has a connection to your meal. So, your meal is Pas, you can make Kiddush on the Pas b'diavad. Havdollah has no connection to a meal. There's no chiyuv to eat a meal now. There's a minig, we have a lava malka, but it has nothing to do with the Havdollah. Kiddush, you're not allowed to make Kiddush without eating a meal afterwards. Having mazayin as bread, you have to have a suda. So, therefore, Havdollah, you're never allowed to make Havdollah and bread. Sivches, Avol, Mavdilin al kol mashke, shu chamar hamadina chutz hamayim. One is allowed to make Havdollah on all other drinks that have the status of chamar hamadina. Means drinks which are the drink of the country.
Beer.
1 minute. Besides for what? We'll discuss in a minute what that means. If you have yayin in your house, you have available yayin, you're supposed to make on the wine. Because hidur mitzvah. More mahudr to make on wine than to make on another drink.
To make difference between white and red wine?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. She'ein ze hidur mitzvah im yavdol sheikha shamashkim. It's not a hidur mitzvah if you make on beer or other drinks. Even there considered chamar medina, yayin is more chashuv. Wine is more chashuv. Abel ein lo yayin bebeisai. If he doesn't have wine in his house, even though he has by the storekeeper, the store he has this wine, he has no chiyuv to go and buy it.
עוד לא עשה הבדלה, הוא יכול להשתמש בכסף לקנות.
It's a mitzvah and a mufchar to make Havdalah and wine regardless.
Question.
It seems that the difference in hidur mitzvah and mitzvah and a mufchar. Meaning like this. If I have in my house, I have a wine or beer, and I overlook the wine and I'm taking the beer, you're not supposed to do that. That's not hidur mitzvah. you're disregarding. There's a chiyuv that hisna hitna lefana b'mitzvahs. A person has to zeh keli va'anveyu. We have to make. This is my ebishter va'anveyu. I'm making beautiful. I want to do the mitzvahs in a beautiful way. I have an ability to do something nice, and I disregard it. I have a chiyuv to go to the wine. However, if the wine is in the store and I need to schlep to the store, I don't have that chiyuv. I'm allowed to make on the beer, the sheikher, or other drinks which have the status of chamar hamadina. However, still in all, a mitzvah and a mufcher is to go to the store and get it. Right? You're a chassid, go on the extra yard. But minadin, you can make on the sheikher. Yeah.
Two questions. Number one, he has no mashke, only mine. Number two, he said you can make Havdalah till Tuesday. If Motzei Shabbos I don't have wine, what is Sunday? I go to the store, I buy wine.
But you can eat and drink till you make a dollar. That's the problem.
Says who? You can make till Tuesday Havdalah.
Fine.
You
You want to
fast
fast?
Tuesday?
You want to fast on Sunday morning?
You don't fast till Tuesday morning or
If you
Tuesday.
don't make a dollar, you can eat.
No,
The din is still Tuesday. You have time to make Havdalah. If you
No,
don't
but
make,
the problem is you can eat. So you're gonna fast.
No, you don't have to fast for 3 days, but woman, I didn't hear your question. What's the question?
first question, it's if he has only water. So he will not make Havdalah at all?
No, no Havdalah.
No Havdalah. Second question, we know that the din is you can wait till Tuesday if you don't make Havdalah, Motzei Shabbos, Sunday,
Right.
Monday. So he can go Monday or Sunday, buy from the store wine. What's the big deal? Why they make it big deal?
But it's not. It's more important to make Motzei Shabbos.
Of course.
So therefore,
He didn't
to
have
wait
wine.
for what? So to wait for wine, to push off Havdalah to the next day, it's more important to keep Havdalah Motzei Shabbos and make on beer than to go to the store tomorrow morning and get the. The Gabi fasting, you only have to fast 1 day. You don't have to
Sunday
fast.
night. 2 Sunday night.
Yeah.
When the Shulchan Aruch was written, they didn't have the local liquor store. So
It was harder.
What?
It was harder.
It was harder to get.
Right.
But even now, you can go once a Shabbos to a goy
Right.
to buy wine.
Well, yeah, you can go up to wine if the kasher has kasher to wine, yeah. If he has, it's not always easy at night to get the liquor store open. There's no liquor stores open at night.
There's no blue doors over here.
None, but it's not easy,
He asked before a red wine or white wine to make a dollar.
Yeah, no difference.
No, in California, where my brother lived in Long Beach, there's a doctor, eye doctor, I forgot the last name.
Srelnik.
Sonic, that he was an eye doctor, and something happened in his closet that night. He went to look something, and something fell on his eye, and he didn't see anything. Called the rabbi and he says, I'm an eye doctor. Without my eye, I'm losing my job. All my college, all my life gone. What should I do? So the rabbi told him, the dafka make kiddush Friday night on wine, red, and Motzei Shabbos also on red. So he said, I can't drink red. He said, fill up, drink water white, and just with the red, just for the color. But dafka should be red. So I said, halacha-wise, you could make white or red, but over there, with the story, the rabbi told him
I
that.
don't know.
So
You have
the
to,
Gemara
you
says
can't,
that-
ain't
the Gemara
lemated.
says that when a person make a kiddush, a fikavole, he should look with his eye in the wine, he should see his eyes back. That's good for Riyah. That's what the Gemara says in the Proverbs.
This doctor saw
It's not
Yeah, after
something.
everything was good.
Yeah, but these maises are ruchnistic maises. They're not something we
It's
can
not
say
a locha.
halacha.
It's not a locha that you have to be dafka red.
No.
Uh-huh.
Pesach, there's a discussion, and there's an Indian of red. It's not the blood of the.
To make dafka red wine.
Yeah. The maisa. The Chamara Medina means a drink which is drunk, the whole country drinks this drink.
Like over here, what would be?
beer or vodka.
Beer, tea, coffee, mashke. Could be mashke, that's, if everyone drinks mashke, right? So,
So tea would be good, coffee would be good, beer would be good.
I mean, tea and coffee is a little bit more of a chiddush because be'etzim it's water, right?
Right.
But,
You just mix it.
but orange juice and orange juice and apple juice and like that, they don't have any chashivas to it. There's no
Right.
chashivas to it. So there's a discussion in somewhere else that is called mashkim gruim. In Hilchos Shabbos, he talks more about the concept of Hamad. He calls it, he says that certain mashkim are mashkim gruim. They're cheap mashkas, they're not considered chashiv. So So that Chamara Medina is something which is a chashiv drink. You have that in Russia, in a place in Europe, they didn't have wine. Wine was very expensive because grapes don't grow there. It's not a warm climate. So, and it wasn't like today where you fly things in and you can have whatever you want. So, in Russia, people grew up without wine. People did not have wine. Not only that, when it came to raisin wine, when it came to Pesach, they would make on raisin wine. Because they'd have raisins, raisins were all dried out, that you could have, and they could reconstitute it by putting water on it and letting it sit in the water. So it was difficult for them to find wine. It wasn't an easy thing to have a city having wine. And even if there was places that made wine, but it was, it's not here we get in California wine, they fly it in every day, right? They get from California wine such a distance to get then those days. It was it was a very expensive item. It was a very, it wasn't a regular thing. It was considered a very chashuv thing. So Lamaisa, whenever you have wine, you're supposed to make on wine. If you don't have wine, you can make an Chamara Medina. But you have wine, grape juice you should make on grape juice.
What's his kosher? In England, let's say.
Wine is number one. Then is grape juice.
הוא יוצר במדינה. זה לא משקה שיוצר במדינה.
When you make a party, what you put on the table? Beer.
זה מה ששותים הרוב, לא מה מיוצר במדינה. הקמת המדינה זה כאילו מה שותים הרוב, מה...
בדרך כלל, how was it those days? Whatever people were able to make mashke, beer, mashke, everyone had wheat.
Right.
They're all able to make it in their house. They all make their own mashke. Wine, they didn't have grapes. It was not easy for them to make it. So, in those countries, in general it was, when those countries where there was no wine, so these mashkim became the chashuv, a drink of the country. When they sat down for a drink, what did they serve to drink? Now what they drank for breakfast, but when they sat down for a meal, what are they serving as a chashuv drink? Lamaisa today in America, there are a lot of drinks which have the status of Chamar HaMedina. Because we have a lot of drinks that people drink by the table, right? The thing is that drinks that have no chashivas to it, like water and things like that, so seltzer, water, sodas, no chashivas to it. Something which has a chashivas to it, mashke, or beer, that's considered if someone's not feeling well, coffee, a tea, like that. But in general, one should make on wine, and if not on wine, in grape juice, and not in grape juice, make on other beers or mashke.
I know, like in the 9 days.
But not on bread.
Shabbos, Motzei Shabbos 9 days. A lot of people make a beer. You can't drink the wine. On purpose, they go ahead and make a beer. Not give a little kid,
But we hold the Maisa that you could drink. If you have a child,
you could give it to him.
You give it to the child. If you don't have a child, you can drink the wine.
Right. But we say a lot of people I see that straight go to the beer.
Sif Tes. Now, afilim yesh le'kais yain she'enim moili. One of the dinim is when you have a koish bracha, you should fill it to the top. Better to fill it to the top. Kois moli. That's where you fill to the top.
Especially after
שפע.
Right?
Especially after
שפע.
So what happens if I have a half-filled cup of wine, but I have a full cup of Chamara Medina, a full cup of Sheikha, of beer? What's better?
You can mix it?
Depends which beer. Who's gonna mix it?
Why not?
Not gonna taste too
You
good.
drink wine.
Afilum yesh le'kais yain she'enim moli. In Sif Tes, even if one has a wine cup which is not full, the kois moli sheikher shamash, or a full cup of sheikher and other drinks, Chamara Medina. Toiv yois l'havdoloh yayinim eini pogum. It was never pogum. Pogum means it was never used, never drink it from. Someone didn't drink from the wine yet. No one tasted it. It's pure. Avol pogum, someone tasted from it already. It would be ingen shei afshel sakin kuriyosei. And you see this mayim atoich kib shemaz mayim karoi. Kvar karoi. Being shemaz mayim atoich skalkol. As I told you, l'havdoloh mash lechamid yishin pogum. If something is pogum, the yain is pogum, tasted from, better to make in the Chamara Medina. Now, what this means is, usually something's pogum, you could pour into it some water, some wine, and make masakin to make it better. However, what happens if you already put water into your wine? You can't add anymore. You're not allowed to add. You're only allowed to add a certain amount. So then, you should make better on the sheikher, which is never tasted from. It's not pogum. So the more of a chiyuv that the kiddush should be not pogum than it should be muller. More important that the wine should not be tasted from than it should be muller. Full.
You can put 2 or 3 different wine to fill up the cup.
By the way, if you don't have a full cup of wine, still yaitz kiddush, Havdoloh, as long as you have a revius in it. And if you want to make it full,
Take a smaller cup.
take a smaller cup. But what happens if you don't have? You could put something inside it
Make it higher.
to lift it higher. You could put an ice cube in,
Anything to make
or
it.
put a cap and lift it up, so it should go higher.
Water is no good.
You put water in sometimes. You could put water. Sometimes you put too much water. You're diluting it too
Yeah,
much.
if you have raw wine.
Yeah, a little bit of water is fine. Put it up. Yeah, a little water to make it overflow. It's good.
אהבתי את הרעיון הזה, לזרוק איזה משהו בפנים, לתפוס לו נפח שיגדיל אותו, לתחמן את המערכת.
Make 3/4 wine, and then we have wine for Rabbi Kamenetsky, we have wine for Baba Sali, she ate up with it.
October 24th.
לא הבנתי.
October
We got the bottle from the sign, his name, years ago. I always ate up for wine
3 חודש.
You still have it.
for years.
חברים את זה מקנדה.
You're adding to it. You add,
Regular wine.
כל הג'וסים
you
האלה.
add to the wine of that wine is probably because you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Sif Yud. Noigim in these countries, the custom is lahakol to be lenient lahadl mitzvah Pesach hashecher. Mitzvah Pesach, even though you have wine in the house, a lot of wine people like to make on shecher and beer because it's mitzvah Pesach. A whole Pesach you didn't have any beer, chametz. Shashecher chaviv olav yosem az yisrael. Shecher is more chaviv for you than yayin. Someone who it's not chaviv to him so much, he doesn't really appreciate shecher, he should make a wine. Even someone who it's chaviv to him, it's beloved to him, he really likes to make on shecher. But if it's not Chamar HaMedina, you can't make on it. I mean, you need 2 steps in order to allow you to drink on something which is not wine. Step 1,
He would be like somebody drinking a beer from Mexico, like a cheap beer. Not from Medina.
אבל סתם דוגמה, פה קורונה למשל, זה בא ממקסיקו.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing to drink it, so it's not...
זה מה בגלל זה שאלתי אם זה כמו שמיוצר במדינה או שמה
משהו חשוב,
ששותים במדינה.
היינקן, זה משהו חשוב, לא כזה צ'יפ.
Budweiser.
Yeah, something חשוב.
you need 2 things. You need something should be first step, Chamar HaMedina. This is a drink that the whole country drinks. Most people are drinking this often. They're often drinking this drink. Number 2, you have to appreciate it. If you really appreciate this drink. It's now after Pesach, you really want to drink it, you can drink it. But if it's not the drink of the country, people are not drinking it here, so it's not going to help you. Even though you like it, you can't make Havdoloh on it. In order to give it the status of Chamar, it has to become Chamar Medina, then you're able to make Havdoloh or Kiddush.
Otherwise, it looks like water.
Now, Sif Yud Aleph.
didn't finish the year.
It's not so negay as much. Usually places which have wine grown there, places that have wine growing in the area, grapes growing there, so they're producing wine. So the way it used to be in Europe, in the olden days, not only Europe, wherever it was,
Especially French.
that wine becomes the Chamar Medina. It becomes the Chamar Medina. So, Shakaya. So it's the Chamar Medina. So in a country where wine grows there, usually the way it was done, that automatically created that it was Chamar Medina. Because we have it, our city, our village, we're growing grapes. Then other things are not the Chamar Medina.
Right.
Because this is the drink that everyone was drinking. Because it was more kosher. Thank you. But Lamais is not that way today. Today,
That's weird. In France, beer is second class. Wine is
Wine in first, that's right.
wine is French. Okay, so maybe over there is different.
But different places in Europe, like in Germany and the US, beer is number one. Wine is secondary.
It doesn't have to necessarily be the Chamar Medina. Doesn't have to be one type. It could be a few things have this type.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, the Paiskim don't allow. They say that. I don't know. What I remember is that the Paiskim say that's a mashka garua. It's a cheap.
It's not cheap. Like in the old days when we used to drink wine at every meal, wine itself is cheap.
You're not allowed to make on water. Why are you not allowed to make on water?
Okay, water is just as low as you can go. But
It says in
Coca-Cola is 90% water.
with a glass of Coca-Cola.
you also mechabed them with a cup of water.
I don't.
Nah, it's not so pashut. It has to have a certain chashivas to
Coca-Cola
it.
is
Could be certain
90%
people hold that way, but I'm saying it's not so pashut. Not pashut. A tea or a coffee has more of a chashivas to it.
I never see somebody making a Coca-Cola.
I agree.
Yeah, no other mashka.
I don't know.
Sif Yud Aleph. Oh. We said before that Havdoloh you're never allowed to make on pas. Why Kiddush you're allowed to make on bread if you don't have wine? Because Kiddush has a connection to the meal. Ein Kiddush ela b'makom suda. Since Kiddush has a connection to pas, to Suda, if you don't have yayin, you can make the Kiddush itself on the pas. Havdoloh has no connection to the meal. However, what do we do when you have Yom Tov which falls out on a Motzei Shabbos? Yom Tov falls out on Motzei Shabbos. Like we had...
And you want to make Kiddush on
We had Shavuos this year, right? Shavuos. This is the first day Shavuos, first night Shavuos is the Motzei Shabbos. As well, the second night Pesach this year.
Right.
Motzei Shabbos. So what the Seder is, we do Havdoloh and Kiddush on one cup. It's called Yak Nahaz. We say Yayin, Kiddush, Ner, Havdoloh, Zman. We do say Ber Priya Gofen, and we say Kiddush. We do Ner, Ber Reish. Then we do Havdoloh, and then we say Shechiyan. So we do it both on one kos. So this Havdoloh is being done also before a meal. So what happens over here? I'm doing a Kiddush and a Havdoloh in one kos. What happens if I don't have wine on such an evening? Am I allowed to make on pas? From the Kiddush perspective, I'm allowed to make on pas for Kiddush. But here I'm also making Havdoloh. Havdoloh you're not allowed to make pas. So what should I do? This is what the Alter Rebbe discusses in Sif Yud Aleph. Yom Tiv shechalis b'mitzvah Shabbos. When the din is shetzarach lekadish lahavdollah koisach, you're saying Kiddush and Havdoloh one becher. The ein lo yayin, you don't have any wine. What should you do? Some say shiyochol lo miyak nahaz al pas. You are allowed to do it on bread. You're not allowed to make Havdoloh on bread. Kol Makim still no. This Havdoloh is different. This Havdoloh is secondary to the Tafel, to the Kiddush. You're saying it together. Havdoloh zut feil the Kiddush. Since you're allowed to make Kiddush on pas, you're allowed to also say Havdoloh on top of patient Tazayin. Agav Kiddush, since for the Kiddush you're allowed, for Havdoloh you're allowed. Some say no. Kiddush Havdoloh al kois shel sheichar Shar Mashke Shim Chamara Medina. Others say that it's better to say Kiddush and Havdalah on mashke. Don't say it on bread. Because you can't make Havdalah on bread. And tonight you have to make Kiddush and Havdalah together. The minig in these countries is like the first opinion that you could make on bread. Since the Kiddush is allowed to make on bread, and you're saying the Havdalah together, you're adding it to the Kiddush. It's tafel to the Kiddush. You're allowed.
קראתי ב' הוא לא צריך לצום, הוא יכול לאכול. מי שאין לו מוצאי שבת ויהיה אפשר לה למצוא
Sivya base.
מותר לו לאכול מיד.
מי שאין לו במצוי שבס לחויל. On a regular Matzah Shabbos. Regular Matzah Shabbos, Sunday, no Yom Tov. You don't have any wine. You don't have any Chamara Medina. You don't have anything. Lo yayin, v'lo shamash Chamara Medina. And bread you're not allowed to make. It's not a Yom Tov. It's total regular Matzah Shabbos. You're not going to be able to get wine till tomorrow. Next day you can't get wine. Yesh oimim, some say, what should he do? Can you eat now? Do you want to eat malava malka? Could you eat? Yesh oimim shemoto yelecho miyad min adin mihiske Havdoloh tefillah. Some say that min avdin you're allowed to eat right away because you said Havdoloh in tefillah atachen antanu. Al shamidas chasidis hu shelitim umat sheyad l'machar. Shamidas chasidis to not eat anything until the next day, till you make Havdalah the next day. By the way, you're allowed to drink water always before Havdalah. Pi halacha. The minig is that we don't drink water before Havdalah, but pi din you're allowed to drink water. So we're talking about not about drinking, we're talking about eating. V'yesh oimim mishemin adin also litim omar. Some say no. If you know the next day you're going to have wine, you have to fast until you get the wine. Not mitzad amidas chasidus, because min adin to fast. However, if you don't think tomorrow you're not expecting to have wine, we don't require you to fast until Havdalah. Therefore, you can have right away food. Who is the halacha like? Le'inyan halacha yesh lahachmir kisvara hachreina. In halacha, you have to be machmir, like the second opinion, that you should not eat until, if you're expecting tomorrow to have a bottle of wine, the store is going to be open, you don't eat Matzah Shabbos. Unless the person's weak, shakasha is hard for him to fast, and since we're dealing with a halacha midrabanan, and someone's weak, or he's an older person, it's too much for him, he's going to go for a few hours without eating, it's not healthy, you can't do it.
We said Shabbos we have neshama yetera. You eat for 2 neshamot, so you can fast another day.
But it leaves, the neshama said it leaves.
Huh?
Good tzvot.
Okay, we're going to skip the next sifim, which are talking about in cases where you don't have you only have one cup, and what should you do? Berchat hamazon akois or Havdalah. It's not common shilas. We'll go to Sif Tezvav, top of page Shin Chav. Noigim in Israel, the minig is in these countries lahavdom umad. The one should make Havdalah standing. L'kaved hamelech in honor of the king. Shana malavim say, we are escorting the king. Has come to us for Shabbos. We're escorting the Melech, V'derech Leviyah Mu'umad. And the form of escorting is standing. You stand up to escort someone out the door. Lava Malka, right? Malava the Malka.
Malka doesn't go by himself. What was it?
V'kol makim acher gemar havdalah. After one finishes Havdalah, one should sit down and drink, because it's not respectable for a person, for a Talmud Chacham, to eat or drink while standing. It's always better for a person to sit and drink when eating. Page Shin Chav. Te'in of derech eretz. Sifteh zayin. Kol davar shemevarchen olav tzarich la'achzei b'minei b'shas habracha. Anything which you make a bracha on, it's a klal on all brachas. One should hold it in one's right hand during the bracha. Lefichach b'shas birches beiri pri'agafin tzarich leches hakoyis b'minei. When you're saying the bracha beiri pri'agafin by Havdalah, the koy should be in your right hand. V'yu b'samim b'smayla in the b'samim in your left hand. V'achakato v'hachlef hakoyis l'smaylei v'ha'b'samim l'minoi v'yivarach al b'samim. Afterwards, one should switch the cup to your left hand, the becher, and hold the b'samim in your right hand, because you have to make the bracha on the b'samim while you're holding it in your right hand. V'toiv she'hakoyis b'smaylei ad lo'acher birches meireish. You should keep the cup in your left hand till after you make the bracha by Me'esh, so you can look with your right hand on the nails of your right hand in the light of the Havdalah.
Only in the right hand, because people look on both hands. And here it's only
Is it better for both hands? 1 minute. Afterwards you have to put the kois back to your right hand. We're doing a juggling act of Lamaisa, we don't. The oilam does like this. We hold the kois in our hand the whole time. When it comes to psamim,
put it down.
You put it down and you hold the psamim in your right hand. You make the bracha. If they hold both, then they should do the opposite. But then they should switch around the kois.
Parents make all time the Havdalah. Read a big maybe.
When you hold an apple to eat an apple, in your right hand. Whatever you do, you pick up the fork to make a bracha, hold it in your right hand. So you should hold the psamim in your right hand, make the bracha. And then you make the bracha straight on Meireish, you can do both hands. And then you pick up the kais again in your right hand, have it in your right hand and make the brachas Havdol.
Somebody lefty? You do the bracha on the left, not the right. This is the main hand. Right?
So if you are lefty, you actually favor the left hand? I never heard that.
I'm not, but I don't know the dinim of a lefty because I'm not a lefty, so I never looked into it. But it's a safer. There are svarim about all the dinim for lefties as to when do they switch to the left hand and when do they stick with the right hand.
Most of is the lefty, and when you make Kiddush, you make it with the left hand.
Yeah.
In the left? Yeah.
I think I happen to recall somewhere when Shulchan Aruch says that anything that we say that you do with your right hand, maybe in the beginning of Shulchan Aruch, is only if you're a righty. If you're a lefty, you should do it with your left. That's what I remember.
I was watching more than a couple times. The dark guy.
But this is the main hand.
Yeah.
You make the main hand. That's it.
Now, Sif Yud Zayin. We'll talk a little bit outside. We spoke many times about this concept. But there are two ways how one can be moitzi someone else in a mitzvah, in a bracha, like Kiddush, Havdalah, or in any other bracha. One is when you yourself were not yoitza, So you say the kiddush for yourself, and others listen, and by them listening, shemeya ke'oinez, if he said shemeya ke'oimer, and that's how they're yoitza the bracha. However, there's a second option. What happens if you were already yoitza? You made kiddush, you made Havdoloh, or you heard kiddush, you heard Havdoloh. You can once again make kiddush and Havdoloh for someone who did not hear and not hear do kiddush and Havdoloh, and he can be mighty them. It should be a bracha levatala. I was already yoitza. Meila, the first situation, I was not yoitza yet, so I mighty myself and anyone else who heard me. But if I was yoitza already, what gives me the right to go and say a bracha for no reason? The other person. There's a concept called arvus. Kol Yisrael Arevim Zelazah. Every Yid, besides for the fact that we accepted the Torah at Har Sinai, we also accepted upon ourselves in the Midbar that we are guaranteeing each other. As a family, we guarantee to help each other do the mitzvahs. We take on the achrayus and responsibility to make sure that other Yidden can do the mitzvah.
Just like in reading the Megillah for somebody.
Same thing.
You can do it many
Mentioned
times. But
Yeah.
are you reading the, are you saying the bracha? I don't think so.
You can even say the bracha, but say the bracha.
Each time?
The chiddush is when it comes to bracha, you're saying the name of Hashem and you're saying the bracha. But now that's like kiddush, right? You made kiddush, you heard kiddush in shul, you made kiddush shul. You could come home and make kiddush with someone who did not hear kiddush yet. You already made kiddush. You're allowed. It's based on the concept of arvos, that we have an obligation to make sure that everyone who does not know how to do a mitzvah does it. Arvos means we're guarantors for each other that we're doing the mitzvahs. So since we accepted upon ourselves arvos, we have a chiyuv to make sure, and we are allowed to make a bracha for someone else. However, and the person's yoitza by hearing it, shemei koine, they hear it and they're yoitza. However, the halacha is that you're only allowed to do arvos if the person does not know how to do it by themselves. If the person knows how to do the mitzvah by themselves, they don't need you to do it for them. They should be doing it themselves. They know how to make the bracha on shofar or Megillah or on kiddush or Havdoloh. So they should make it themselves because they know how to do it. The logic behind it is Hashem wants every person to do the mitzvah on their own. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to say the bracha, you're not familiar, it's difficult for you, so then someone else can help you. But Hashem l'chatchila wants you should pay up your debt to Him. Similar the way it comes, the way the Alter Rebbe describes it in Hilchos Kiddush is, similar in dinim of Choshe Mishpat when it comes to monetary issues, when it comes to guaranteeing a loan. When someone borrows $1,000 from someone, and he says, do you have a guarantor? He says, yes, I have. Shimon's going to guarantee that if I don't pay, he's going to pay up to $1,000. So when the lender wants his money back, who does he come to? The first person he comes to is the one who borrowed the money from him. He says, pay up, you owe me $1,000. If he says he doesn't have $1,000, oh, you don't have, I'm going to go to your guarantor and collect it. In a similar vein, the concept of arvus works that in Torah and halacha aspects, that you should only be mighty someone else in the mitzvah. The person doesn't know how to do it themselves, because Hashem is like the lender. He's saying, I told you to do the mitzvah. I gave you a command. You have to do the mitzvah. Oh, you can't do it. You don't know how to do it. Someone else can help you and do it, and you'll listen, and you'll be yoitza be listening. So therefore, lachatchila, if someone knows how to do it, lachatchila, he shouldn't. But if you didn't, and the other person, you were mighty the other person, they're yoitza, it's not a bracha vatala, because if the guarantor came and paid up the $1,000, he paid up the $1,000.
So both people are doing the mitzvah then, therefore, by helping a fellow Jew.
Yeah, you get a mitzvah, special helping someone, but l'maisa you shouldn't do it only in the case where the person's not a buck. They don't know how to do it. You know how to do it yourself.
That's why I referenced the Megillah, reading the Megillah.
Yeah. So reading the Megillah itself is not the issue, because there's no. But the issue is that how are you saying the brachas? So if you're reading for someone who doesn't know how to say the brachas, you say otherwise. You should ask the person You read the brachas, I'll read the Megillah, because you know how to say brachas, but you don't know how to read Megillah. You don't know how to lay Megillah. You're not a Baal Koira. But brachas, you read the brachas, because I was already Yoitza. If you go read for ladies, the ladies should say the brachas on the bracha on the Megillah. One lady could say it for all of them. There's a bunch of ladies. They could all answer Amen. But the Baal Koira doesn't have to read it because he already said it. If they don't know, they're not from, they don't know how to make the bracha, so you make the bracha for them. That's based on the concept of Arvas. This is what it says here in Sif Yud Zayin about Havdoloh. Shliach Tzibur Hamad Beis HaKnesses, a chazan who's in shul and he's making for people in shul Havdoloh, but then he wants to go home and do for his family, right? Ashen is Skaven lots of Dechevas. Even though he had in mind when he was in shul, I want to be Yoitza right now, Havdoloh already. I want to make Havdoloh now. V'chein achedim sheshamu v'niskaven lots of Dechevas. Both him, the Mavdil, and as well the people in shul who were Yoitza from him, are allowed to go home and do for their family members. Yechoyim lachser lahadl v'vatayim in their houses, l'hoytzi b'nei beis maktanim, to do the small children at home that don't know how to make Havdalah. Shalahayi beis HaKnesses, they were not in shul. Aval agdoilim, the adults, shalahayi beis HaKnesses, hoyil v'heim yechoyim lahad batzlam, since they know how to do it on their own. Ein l'mi sheyotze kvai yidei chivasei lahavdolahem. He should not make Havdalah for them because he was Yaitza. And Havdoloh ba'atzim, let them make on their own. Someone who had kavana, I am not being Yaitza in shul. Havdalah. Even the chazan himself in shul, when he made Havdalah, he had in mind, I am not being Yaitza. I'm making for everyone else, but I'm not being Yaitza for myself. So he has to make Havdalah again in his house. You have to have kavanah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to give to somebody else to make the Havdalah if you don't have kavanah?
No, you're allowed to.
But you make the Havdalah without kavanah, and you have to make the Havdalah with the kavanah.
You have kavanah, you're making Havdalah, but not, you don't, he's kavanah, I don't want to be yoitz in the mitzvah. He knows what he's doing, but he's not.
You know he's going to do in the house later on, so he doesn't want to do it.
Lefichach nago oilam shekolecha choyzem adol beisei. Afim kol beisei bebeis HaKnesses. Therefore, the minig is, even if everyone was in shul and everyone heard Havdalah, we make again in the house. Why? Shein daitem klal lotzi dechevasem b'Havdalah sheKnesses.
They think I'm going to go to the house.
Because people in the shul those days don't have a mind. Since they know they're going home to Yetza Havdalah, they don't have a mind at all to be Yetza with the shul's Havdalah. So therefore, the minhag became, even if everyone's in shul, they go home and make Havdalah again. But if you did have in mind indeed that you want to be Yetza in the shul, you're Yetza. Just talking as a general rule, people did not, just like there are certain the minig is in certain shuls to make kiddush. The chazan makes kiddush in shul. Certain shuls have the minig where they make Havdalah for everyone in shul. A lot of shuls people go. A lot of shuls right after they make kiddush, but a lot of people don't have a mind to be yoitza because they think I always go home to make. So if they're planning on going home to make and they're not having a mind after to be yoitza, they're not yoitza.
He has to drink from the wine if they're making kiddush?
No, it's not.
No.
Wait, no, the one who was making it.
But the people that want to say yotzi.
Can I ask you to clarify?
I had a kavanah to be
No.
yotzi. I have to drink from it.
No, just like in your house, your wife and your kids drink from it. No one's drinking. Only you drink.
I have heard some people during Havdalah make the bracha on the Samim and the Neros after the one who does it, which typically is parrots. But on the other hand, I've been told that that's not proper.
What do you mean after?
In other words, parrot says the bracha on Katarat, on Besamim, and we all smell it. And there are those people who say the bracha, they heard him, and they say the bracha and they smell it. but somebody, I don't want to say who it was, said that's not right. That's not proper. If you heard the bracha, you heard the bracha.
Well, it sometimes is a hefsek because people.
They didn't have kavanah
No,
to
we're
be
not
yotze.
talking about hefsek. We're
Yeah,
talking
you.
about-
But they didn't have kavanah to be yotze.
You can make your own if you didn't have kavanah to be yotzei. You can make your own.
I want to make my own. Even though I hear, I want to make my own.
But does he address that?
Not here. No. He talks only about the Havdol itself, not about the psamim and the.
Well, I'm talking about the Psalm and the Ner.
No, not here.
He doesn't address it.
Not in this siman. We're going to learn. I'm going to have a special siman about psamim, the whole entire next siman, and then a whole entire siman about the ner. Now we're talking about the actual
About the
Havdol.
wine.
I think don't forget, it's more mitzvah that beside the one to make it Havdoleh, every person should make something by himself and like that.
Let's learn another sif and we'll go to Maida. Sif Yud Ches. Hashemei Havdollah. What happens if someone didn't have a mind to be Yotze Havdollah when the Mavda was saying Bayer Priyagafen, but he chapped after Bayer Priyagafen, I want to be Yotze. So he starts tuning in, and now he's listening to the Bracha Havdollah. So he only heard Hamad ben Kodesh L'choil, that bracha, but he didn't hear Bayer Priyagafen. Is he Yotze? Is he not? Hashemei Havdollah. Someone was listening to Havdollah. Beim bebeis hakneses, whether it's in the shul. Beim beseich bayis, whether it's in the house. In the skaven lots the chivas, and he has kavanah to be yoytze. Kishasham bebesadol, when he heard the brach of Havdollah. Mishalahoy bedaiti lots of Havdolahs of Shas bechasayayin. Even though he did not have a mind to be yoytze Havdollah, when he made the brach on the yayin, I feel when he heard it, I feel shamakal. Even if he didn't even hear the brach on the wine, he didn't hear Bayer Priyagafen. He only came into the room after Bayer Priyagafen. Ein bekach klum, it's not an issue. V'yatz li'chayves hatfila is yoytze Havdollah. Ella, however, sheniyachol lishis yayin al smach b'chsa yayin. You cannot drink the wine on the smach of that bracha that the Mavdol made. If you want to drink from it, kol sheneskav meshmiyas b'chsa yayin lifter b'hayayin shishtahu. Since you did not have a mind to be yoytze the Bayer Priyagafen, how could you drink from the wine?
Now
So
make a boy go Priyagafen and then drink it.
yeah, that he could do. That he could do.
לא, אבל הוא יוצא מהבדלה. גם אם לא שמעת יד,
Yeah.
מהבדלה.
But if
הוא
you
יוצא
want to drink
Havdollah.
the wine, you have to make a bracha.
אבל מאיזה שלב הוא לא יוצא?
אם הוא לא שמע את הברכס הבדלה עצמה, הוא לא יוצא.
הוא כבר לא יוצא.
שכוח.
החידוש הוא, בסמם in זכר, for sure you're yoytze even without hearing it. It's not an ikr of the Havdollah. You could even do it other times of the night.
אבל צריך ללמוד.
However, over here, the chiddush is even the Bayer Priyagafen, if you didn't hear, or you didn't have kavanah,
אוקיי.
it's still yoytze
from the הבדולה.
Havdollah.
אוקיי.
Next week we're going to discuss about women when it comes to women making Havdalah. So it's not so pashut that women are obligated in Havdalah the same level as the ben, and therefore you cannot. If a woman did not make Havdalah in shul and you did not hear Havdalah yet, and you already heard Havdalah, and we're yoytze Havdalah, a man should not make Havdalah just for a woman. Because lav dafka, a woman is chayiv in Havdalah. There is an opinion. There's an opinion she's not chayiv. The main opinion she is, so she should do for herself. But a man to be moitzi her who was already yoytze in shul, he shouldn't. If there's other people there, so he's moitzi his wife also. Or
If
the
I have
woman.
kavanah in the shul also for my wife,
No.
I can.
She didn't hear it.
That mitzvah has one grama for the woman. It's a special time.
Right, but the thing is that anything connected to Shabbos,
One together.
because since
can't
they're
have
Chai
Havdalah.
Zocher Shabbat V'diba Echanamu, all the Shomer,
be
the
yotzei
Loisas
somebody
of
else
Shabbos,
by
all the
doing
Loisas,
Yeah.
the Loisas are Chayim, because mitzvahs say Shazman Grama women are punished. So all the Loisas, they're all Chayim because they're all Chayim And Shomer, which means Loisase, and Zocher, Shiyam HaShabbos HaKash, when they say, but Divrei Echad Amru, they're hekish that whoever is chayiv in the Shomer is chayiv in the Zocher of Shabbos. So Shabbos is different, that all the mitzvahs say, even if there's man grama, but if it's Shabbos, they're chayiv in it. Like Kiddush, a lady's chayiv. But it's not so pashut about Havdoloh. And that we'll see next week.
That's why also women should not